Hello guys, how are you doing and welcome back to the channel. Season 3 is fast approaching, we've got less than a week now until it finally drops, and we're going to be covering what we can expect as changes coming into Season 3 of Black Ops 6 Ranked Play specifically. I'll leave a link to the blog post that I'm getting all this information from down below, so if you want to check it out yourself, you are more than welcome to do so. There are new maps, there's some really nice quality of life adjustments that they've promised for months now coming into Ranked Play, and then there's new rewards that we're going to be covering as well. So, let's get into the maps. By the way, the gameplay in the background is some ranked play gameplay. If you want to see more of this sort of stuff or learn how to improve in ranked play, make sure you sub to the channel because that's pretty much what we do here. Ranked play info and trying to share knowledge with you guys, of course. But yeah, going into the maps, there's a bunch of new 6v6 maps coming to ranked play. My only apprehension with this is that it's quite late into the CDL Pro season, which usually means that they're less likely to put in new maps. But who knows? We had Vista last year, we had Rio last year, that came in quite late. So fingers crossed, if these maps are good, we're going to see them in. So we're going to review some of the maps that I think could be beneficial and could benefit the ranked play and competitive experience. So we start off with Barrage. It's a fairly open, sandy-looking map, similar aesthetic to what we've expected from like Firing Range, a similar sort of aesthetic to that. Medium-sized, it looks okay. You have got that 3-lane sort of approach. You've got the lane that goes all the way around the outside, the other side, and then a bit of a diagonal one through the middle. Cover-wise, there seems to be a little bit of variety in the cover. There doesn't seem like there's too many cars or too many bits and bobs like that. There looks like there's enough space to play hardpoint on this map. There looks like there's enough space to perhaps play maybe an S&D. But this is what they've described as a relatively medium-shaped map, and who knows? I'm hopeful of this one. And with all of these maps, I hope they at least trial it in ranked play just to see how people feel about it. Similar to what they did with Dealership, similar to what they did with Bounty. I think they should try at least some of the more competitive-looking maps in ranked play. And obviously, as we go through this, let me know your thoughts. Maybe you're thinking, Harry, what are you talking about? That's absolute fugazi. They're never going to do it, or these maps are atrocious. You know, let's hear some thoughts. We then have Firing Range, which, as we know, is a loved map. It's been updated to a modern sort of aesthetic, modern sort of feel. And this has been a competitive map in the past. So I am wondering whether it could play well again. Who knows? Who knows? I think the difficulty is that the pace of players' movement in this game compared to previous games that Firing Range has been on is a lot quicker. So the map's going to feel a lot smaller. So hopefully they've bumped it out a little bit to account for that, hopefully. We then have Haven, which is actually a map they had prepared for NW3 that they've transferred into this. And this actually also looks solid. You've got a relatively 3-lane approach. You've got some rooms. You've got a nice space for 5 hardpoints, maybe 4 hardpoints. Considering how it's going this year. I'm obviously not sure where the hardpoint locations actually are, but this one in itself looks like it could be promising, and this is one additional to Barrage. Obviously, I haven't played it yet, but based on this layout, based on the pictures, this is one that I feel like we could probably, hopefully, see tested at least in ranked play. So that's all the maps considered. There's a couple of things now that they're adding directly to ranked play that's going to change the way we play it, and they are huge improvements. So the first thing is retrospective SR adjustments. I'll read it out, then I'm going to explain it, and obviously, what are your thoughts on this? So to help reverse the impact of cheaters have it in the ranked play SR system, retroactive SR adjustments will be made starting in Season 3. When a ranked play cheater is banned, anyone they've recently beaten will receive an SR refund for those matches. Players who we detect playing with cheaters may have SR for those wins taken away. So, hopefully, when you load into ranked play, you report a cheater, they get banned. Whatever SR you lost for that ban, you get that, which I love. I think that's brilliant, as long as people aren't then abusing the report system to just report anyone in order to hopefully get a win retrospectively. But yeah, I think that's a massive dub to the SR system. I think that's a huge change that we hopefully should have had from the beginning, but who knows. Yeah, I think this is a good move, and hopefully going to make the SR system a lot more fair. It's at least going to feel like you've been rewarded for the games where you've stuck it out and won to a cheater. Now, lost to a cheater. Now, I wonder if, even if you forfeit against cheaters, whether this still happens. That's something interesting. I feel like you might have to actually play out the map to get this SR adjustment. I'm not 100% sure, but I guess we'll see. Now, the next thing they've added is rejoin in progress. Now, this is something they've promised for a while. It's taken a couple of seasons to get into this, and essentially players will be able to rejoin ranked matches if they disconnect. Really, really nice. Now, obviously, that might still result in your team losing. Because if a player takes 2 minutes to load the game back up and then get back in, obviously 2 minutes of the game is a lot. You may have lost 100 points in hardpoint. You may have lost 2 rounds in S&D, something like that. But players overall have 5 minutes to rejoin, and teammates will receive a reduced SR loss if the teammate rejoins and they still lose the match. So let's say you play in the map, teammate dashes, or they lose, they get disconnected, whatever it is, they rejoin and you still lose. The players who were still in the match throughout that whole thing will not lose as much SR for that loss because they had someone gone for a couple of rounds of S&D, for example. So really nice choice. It sounds like they balanced it well and it's not going to be abused too much. I wonder if this will work, or that SR forgiveness, the little reduced SR bit, works if you're playing with a party, not just some random teammates that you've so queued up with. But yeah, really nice quality of life improvements there directly to ranked play. Obviously, they're tackling more with Ricochet, but I'm not going to get into Ricochet. I think the proof will be in the pudding. If we see less cheaters, I will believe it's worked. If I don't see less cheaters, then it doesn't matter, does it, at the end of the day? So the rewards actually look pretty fire this season, I think, unless I'm being brainwashed at this point. But the rank blueprints are not camo. So depending on what rank you achieve, or the highest rank you achieve, unless it's top 250, you have to stay in that rank. But the highest rank you achieve, whether it's gold, diamond, eerie, whatever it is, you will receive a jackal blueprint, not a camo, for that rank. The only thing I don't like about the look of this, it does have the balance stock, which is not what we use. I think Infiltrator is the meta currently, so that's a bit of a shame. So we are going to have a basic stock, but you can just stuck an iridescent camo or whatever camo you have on it to hopefully blend it in. But yeah, I like the fact we're getting a blueprint. You've also getting an MCW. God, I'm going a year back now. You get an Amez blueprint for 10 wins, and then the calling cards are calling cards. Probably, they're not great. What I would love from the Rank Play rewards is some animation. Make the calling cards animated. Make the blueprints or weapon skins animated. Let it, I don't know, something that you can really show off and make people go, oh, crap, that's a real nice camo. That'd be nice. That'd make it actually worth going for, because realistically, who's going to be using this Jackal blueprint? I don't know. And that's pretty much it. As I say, I will leave the blog post down below for those of you who are interested in reading it yourself. There's a bunch of content coming out for the new Warzone Verdansk, which I might be dabbling in. Depends if you want to see content on it or not. But yeah, other than new maps, a couple of bits of rank play, I think that's all that we're going to be seeing. Close to the time, I will be doing a full patch note breakdown, so that if there's any gun balancing or any further details upon anything I've just mentioned today, there will be more information on that right before the season starts. I believe it's on the 2nd of April. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more days to get that rank you want this season, get the rewards, and then grind again back in Season 3. That'll do for me. Enjoy the rest of the day. See you in the next one. Ciao for now.
Hardpoint locked down. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure. Hardpoint located. Hardpoint is active. Hardpoint locked down. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure. Hardpoint identified. Hostiles have captured the hard point. Hard point locked down. Perfect execution.